Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome, and let's get going. So, PD Coordinators webinar for today. Here's the agenda. We will cover updates from PD centers, which is Career Pathway Professional Development Center and Distance Education Professional Development Center. We will go over new trainings, conferences, and statewide events. Then we will cover announcements for monthly webinar series. And we will cover also announcements for PD portal and of course our very special PD coordinator time at the very end of the webinar. All right, we're going to go ahead and jump in with professional development centers. And first we're going to hear from Joanne Jackson with Career Pathway Professional Development Center updates. Joanne, go ahead, take it away.
Awesome, thank you. So first up, we will be on the Manager Monday on December 11th. And that session is going to be called Elevate Your Pathways, Dive into the CPPDC's Dynamic Training World. And on this call, you will be able to meet our team. And I just put a little picture of us on there so you can have some faces with names. And you'll get to learn about the trainings we have available in the PD portal and by request on the topics of integrated education and training and intensive services. We will also have specialized and customized presentations that can be prepared for a variety of support topics, such as contextualization for ESL for career pathways, designing a single set of learning objectives for IETs, and integrating the standards in your career pathway programs, and perfecting your intake process for serving ITPs. We will also make a few announcements for upcoming trainings and the availability of our construction curriculum, which is going to be available for statewide distribution in 2024. So we look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks in December. And remember to register in the PD portal for that Manager Monday. Then next up, I have just a reminder to save the date for the 2024 Career Pathways Symposium. We are working on getting the agenda set up for this, and then we'll be making some announcements. It will be held May 20th through 22nd back in Corpus Christi. So just keep an eye out both on this call and via the listserv, and we'll be announcing more info on our symposium very soon. That's all I've got for today. Thank you.
Thank you, John. We appreciate the information. All right, and now let's go ahead and hear from Distance Education Professional Development Center, and we'll have Ashley Winkle.
Hello, welcome everybody. We have quite a few things going on as always. Save the date. We have our 9th annual Distance Learning and Technology Symposium, which is, in my opinion, is the best one, not that I'm biased. May 30th through 31st. This year it's going to be in Northeast Lakeview College in San Antonio. We will do a call for presenters probably in December. So yes, we're very excited to do this. I can't believe it's been 9 years. This is where I did my very first presentation. So it's my favorite, obviously. You can go to the next slide. Yes, if you didn't know, we are hiring. This is going to close probably on Monday, I believe. But if anybody is interested, we are hiring for an on-site program manager here in College Station. So I believe Rena's going to she's dropping the links in the chat for me. So if you know anybody interested in this position, please share that with them. We'd love to have an actual adult educator with that experience. Would be amazing. You can keep going. Okay. Our next tech playground, we are now kind of partnering with Anne Marie. She's probably going to share a little bit more about that later with the Tech Intels. And one of the things that we are doing is we're going to start doing 2 Fig Jams a month, 2 Fig Jams, two tech playgrounds a month. But we want to start exploring options to replace our our Jamboard, which is sadly leaving at the end of 2024. So Fig Jam is our first one that we're going to be playing with, and that will happen on November 16th. DLA Module 1 in-person training is now available. I've had quite a few people a little bit confused. This is not required to take. This is going to be a 6-hour in-person training that you can request through your PD specialist. A lot of people have asked me, do they have to do this instead of the 3-hour online training? That is not the case. The other question is, can you do both? Absolutely, you can do both. So this is now available. Reasons to do this instead of the online. Some people have also asked me, this is a more in-depth, extensive version. And so because it's such heavy content, it's kind of a great thing to do in person because you have an opportunity to ask questions and discuss and things like that. So if anybody's interested, please reach out to your PD specialist. And we also have Teacher Tuesday, which I think Krista's probably going to mention as well, but we've got our DEPDC Roadshow. We will be doing this a little bit differently this time. It's going to be an 1.5-hour session that will be talking more about integrating the call center into your program. You're also going to have an opportunity to hear how a teacher uses it and listen to stories from call center agents who have assisted many people who are eager to assist you. That's 12 o'clock on next Tuesday. And boy, we are busy in November. On November 17th, which I believe is next Friday, we have been invited to do an EdTech strategy session, a national presentation for EdTech, World EdTech. I guess it's EdTech World Ed. I can never say that right for some reason. That is going to be on November 17th. And if you've never attended one of these, basically they bring in 2 presenters on a similar topic. This month, it's going to be technical assistance. So we will be talking about our journey on the call center. We would love to have people support us if anybody is able to attend. And we also have this month on November 28th, the Integrating the Digital Literacy Content Standards into Instructional Practice pilot. This is going to be part of the pre-conference, the TWC pre-conference at the Marriott Marquis in Houston. That will be on November 28th. It is a full day. It is from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. This is free and you can register on the PD portal. And finally, we are requesting you to give us a little help. We will be sending out some exciting marketing items to help us promote our social media accounts that target students who participate in distance learning. So we are hoping your program social media pages will take the time to follow us and share our social media information with students and staff. You do not need to share the information now, but if you could take the time to follow or like us on Facebook and Instagram, it would be a tremendous help until we get those items to you. And I think that is finally it for me.
Thank you, Ashley.
Thank
Lots
you.
of information. Thank you for sharing. And we're moving along to new trainings, conferences, and statewide events. We're going to have Anne-Marie Molinari-Sanders starting this. And Anne-Marie, please take us through links.
Thank you so much, Olga. Good afternoon, everyone. And I shared this slide last month, but I just wanted to do a quick recap because there's such good content here. Links now has available specific online courses in their learning portal on something called Universal Design for Learning. And if you're not familiar with that, it's short for, we call it UDL. But basically, UDL is a research-based framework that helps reduce barriers to learning by providing flexibility in the ways learners can engage with, perceive, and demonstrate understanding of materials. So Links got together with the Center for Applied Special Technology called CAST, and they designed these modules specifically for adult education. And there are 7 modules They're 90 minutes each with a total of 10 and a half hours of professional development if an instructor or one of your team members wants to go through it. So it's a great opportunity. And last month we had a question about the professional development. What category would these fall under? And it's going to be more than likely literacy and possibly PAL. And remember, these are considered national trainings. So this is when you would fill out the form of a specific event and send it to your PD specialist at Train PD. And then TCall will enter these into teams. We don't want local programs to do that. So I just wanted to, again, share this great opportunity. And we put the link in the chat pod. So thank you.
Thank you, Anne-Marie. We appreciate it. And next, we'll have Paula Boyers talking. She's going to talk about additional symposiums and conferences.
Thank you, Olga.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
have some literacy symposiums that are regional, so they go all over Texas. And this is all sponsored and given by Literacy Texas. The two new ones they added is the one in January, which is going to be over in El Paso. It'll be 25th and 26th of January of 2024. It's a Thursday and a Friday. Registration for these events is all free for the regional symposiums, but they do ask you to register, and the links, if someone can put that in the chat pod, are just at Literacy Texas on the Literacy Texas website. But February is the face-to-face event in South Texas down in Edinburgh. And then East Texas, which is usually in Longview, but they haven't decided if it's going to be face-to-face or online. That'll happen March 2nd. You'll have an online event for faith-affiliated programs. Lexus Connexus is by Lester Merriweather in April 20th. And then on April 23rd, you'll have a new one. They haven't decided that's going to be face-to-face or online in the Permian Basin area, the Midwest Literacy Symposium on April 23rd. Then Central Texas will have an online event on May 9th, and Gulf Coast will wrap up the regional symposium on June 14th. And that one will be face-to-face in Houston. But the Literacy Texas website, you can go on, you can register there, and that's just for them to plan the event. The registration is free. Now, if you haven't heard, the annual Literacy Texas conference is now going to be at the Embassy Suites in San Marcos. The registration hasn't been set up yet, nor the hotel information, but that's where it will be in July 29th, the 30th, and the 31st of July. So that one is a paid registration. But that's it for me. Thank you, Olga.
Thank you, Paula. Lots of symposiums and conferences options. Thank you for sharing. All right. And next we'll have Beth Ponder with some information for Texas Workforce Commission.
All right. Thank you, Olga. Just a reminder that the 2023 Texas Workforce Commission Conference, the big conference, is going to be in Houston, November 29th through December 1st. And the link that I have there on the page, we'll have somebody put in the chat for you. Gives you some more information about the conference, how to register, and it is a good conference, particularly if you're a career navigator or you're on the kind of the workforce side of the house. So I encourage you to attend if you are able. I do know that the Conference Hotel and the Overflow Hotel are full. But we did do some looking around in that area and were able to find state rate hotels at some other Hilton properties that weren't too far from the Marriott Marquis. And as part of this conference, Ashley mentioned they'll do that digital literacy pilot pre-conference, and you can register for that in the portal. So we still have some seats for that. So hope to see some of you there in Houston. So thanks, Olga.
Thank you, Beth. We appreciate it. And last but not least, for the conferences, we have Amanda Science.
Hi, everybody. So yes, on the topic of conferences, we would like to know how you felt about the 2023 AEL Fall Institute. So if you haven't done so already, can you please take a few minutes to tell us about your experience? We really want to know how you felt about both the virtual and the face-to-face options provided at the conference. So you can either scan this QR code or you can click on the link provided in the chat. Thank you, Deb. And if you don't mind sharing this with anyone else on your team who attended the conference, we just want to collect as much information as possible. That way we can make improvements for next year. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Amanda. We appreciate you. And now we're going to take a pause for any questions. You can unmute yourself, or maybe you have a question that you want to post in the chat.
Could you go
There
back
aren't
to the
any,
screen, please, so we could get the QR code?
This one? All right, here you go. Mhm.
while we're leaving that up, this is Deborah. I just want to mention that some of you might have met Amanda on occasion at conferences or on an exhibit booth. Amanda is our research associate. She has found an opportunity that she could not turn down to really grow in her field of research. And she'll be leaving us next Wednesday, only to go down 2-3 floors of our building to join another department and run a clinical study research lab. So I wanted to just share that with all of you in case you know Amanda, to wish her well and let you know that we'll be getting some more research folks going as quickly as we can. But we really enjoy being able to access these surveys and how you really respond, because it helps us guide our instruction, our training, all that we do in our conferencing as well. So we're only better when we hear from you and get your ideas and comments. So please complete the surveys, and please join me in wishing Amanda much success in her new position. Thanks, Olga.
All right. Any questions in the chat, Deborah?
Oh, yes, we do have a question.
Okay.
Nelda's asking in regards to the link modules, do they all have to be completed to get the credit, or can they choose what they want to complete? No, oh, sorry, Anne-Marie answered. You can complete whatever you want, you know, one at a time, and get your credit for that one, then wait a couple of days and do another one. They don't all have to be completed at once. That looks like all the questions so far.
All right, perfect. Let's move along. Next, we will talk about webinar series, monthly webinar series. There are 4 of them: Manager Monday, Teacher Tuesday, Workforce Wednesday, and Tech and Tell. We're going to go ahead and start with Manager Monday, and Wendy Christensen will take us through this.
Hi, everybody. So we've had a bit of a change. The November session of Manager Monday is canceled, and we sent out a notice on the listserv, but just in case you didn't notice that, we had to cancel the November session. TWC had a schedule change, and so November there won't be a Manager Monday. And then in December, as Joan mentioned earlier today, CPPDC will be conducting the session, and it's titled Elevate Your Pathways, Dive into CPPDC's Dynamic Training World. And this will really give you an opportunity to listen to what training opportunities, career pathways PDC has to offer. And I know that it's something, as PD coordinators, it will be very helpful to you as you are planning and guiding your PD events for the rest of this calendar, well, rest of this program year, and then possibly into the new program year. So we hope to see you on December 11th for the next Manager Monday. Next slide. And so I'm currently working on topics for the new calendar year. I'm solidifying January and February, but if you have any topics that you would like to see on Manager Monday, please send me an email and I'll work to get something arranged, and just share your thoughts and ideas with me. And that's how we can get the topics that you want to learn about. And I think that's all I have today.
Thank you, Wendy. We appreciate you. Next, we're going to jump into Teacher Tuesday with Krista Mosher.
Hi, everyone. So this coming November 14th is the DEPDC call center, as Ashley mentioned earlier. So please make sure you register for this in the PD portal. And remember that it's from 12 to 1:30. We're giving her an extra half hour. And I'm really excited about this one because it's a little bit different than their normal road show. So please encourage your teachers to attend this session. And then on the next slide, December 12th, we have Adam Sines coming. If you were at the Fall Institute, he was one of our keynote speakers. And, you know, December, we're in the middle of the holidays. So we wanted to take a break and step back and think about the teachers and all of our AEL staff. And this is, what does self-care really look like? Hint, Calgon ain't gonna take you away. So please join us December 12th from 12 to 1. That registration is also available in the PD portal. So join us for that.
All right, Ms. Krista, thank you very much. I think we're going into Workforce Wednesday, and Dr. Olga Escamilla will take us through it.
Hi, and thank you so much. So this month we have building a strong foundation for college success in AEL. It's kind of a continuation of the conversation we had at last month's Workforce Wednesday. So what did you need to be successful in college? Did you gain all that information you needed in high school from a parent or a sibling that had already been there? So think about our adult education students that didn't stay in school to gain those skills and may not have someone that can share their experiences with them. So join in on this session as we continue the conversation about preparing our students for college success. And when I say college success, we send our students to post-secondary education training, certificate training. So that also counts because it is school, they are learning, they are in a different environment, and there are different expectations. So this session is going to outline the 9 elements of a college-going culture and share ways that we can provide our adult ed students with a strong foundation to prepare them for a successful transition to college, training, or a certificate program. And this slide has a little bit of information. Make note of the remaining 2023 dates. We have November 15th and December 13th, and then our 2024 dates. So mark your calendar. And what I'm going to do is I will place this in the chat for you. So mark those dates. Did it go? Yes. All right. That's all I have. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Olga. We appreciate you. And next, the series of Tech and Tell with Anne-Marie.
Thank you again, Olga. All right, so we have one remaining date left in December for Tech and Tell, and this is going to be part 3 in a series that we've done on SERP Institute resources. We did a Tech and Tell on literacy resources. In November, we talked about SERP Institute resources for math. And on December 8th, Shelley Sievers will be back to discuss the social studies and science resources. And so we're excited to round out with this information. And it's just very good information about resources on this site that provides tons of instructional materials, lesson plans, activities, questions, stems, and so there's just good stuff. So we're excited to share, or we're excited to have Shelley share. And PD portal registration is going to be available soon. Next slide. Oh, and thank you so much, Tiffany. She says, I liked last month's webinar for SERP. It's a great resource that I didn't know about. I loved learning about it. Yay. Yes, it is a hidden gem. That's for sure. All right. So I want to just share Ashley's excitement about collaborating very, more closely with the distance education professional development in this coming year. And we have 3 dates already or 2 dates in 2024. And on January 12th, the DEPDC, Ashley, and I believe Crystal will be talking about Fig Jam. So you're going to have an opportunity to practice with Fig Jam in this soon. I can't remember the date, but then they'll be back for Tech Intel in January. And then in February, we have another presenter that's going to be talking about a great tool, but I'm gonna let the suspense build a little bit and not say anything about that. And then we are planning out several more months. So I hope to give you 6 months of dates soon. So stay tuned. And again, Tech Playground may introduce a new skill, and then we may do it again for Tech Intel, or we may introduce a tool on Tech Intel, and then you'll get to practice with it in Tech Playground. So stay tuned. Thank you, Olga.
Thank you, Anne-Marie.
And then one more. And as always, we appreciate you all so much. Reach out to us with webinar ideas, and we couldn't do the webinar series without you, and our emails are on the slide, and I know we'll put them in the chat pod. So thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's take a pause and see if there are any burning questions about anything that has been covered, or maybe just something else popped in your head. Anything in the chat, Deborah?
Yes, there was a question from Giselle a bit back that we've answered. Will TCAL add the links trainings to Teams? I've been waiting for one. And Beth is going to look into it. And I just wanted to clarify, when you're doing all of these links trainings and you fill out that form, we will add the event into Teams as a statewide event, but it's still up to the program to add each individual staff member, of course. So I just wanted to make sure that was clear. Any other questions? Nope, not at the moment.
All right. Thank you, Deborah. We're moving forward. And let's go over PD Portal announcements. We will have Jessica Beatty talking about sharing with us those announcements.
Thank you, Olga. Thank you, everybody. I'm filling in for Laura today. So we have a couple updates to the PD Portal. We have 4 new courses. We have Teacher Tuesday, Texas AEL by the Numbers, Workforce Wednesday, Pathways for Adult Learners, Digital Literacy Standards, a framework overview for community learning partners, and Maximizing Digital Literacy, innovative strategies for instructors. So share those with your teams and go ahead and start taking those courses on the portal. Next, we've mentioned this before, but Fall Institute certificates are available on your transcripts. But if you feel like you are missing one, please feel free to email us at pdportal@tamu.edu. And then lastly, with the holidays coming up, TCAL will be closed on Thursday, November 23rd, Thanksgiving, and then the following day, Friday, November 24th. The hotline and the PD Portal email account will not be monitored during this time. So be sure to share that with your teams as well. If they need support, we will be back that following Monday to support them in that area.
All right, Jessica, thank you very much for sharing those updates. And we will have a short pause again. Anything in the chat, Deborah?
No, ma'am.
All right, so we're ready to move to the very special part of the webinar. It's called PD Coordinator Time with Krista.
Hello again. Wow, we are just zipping through this webinar today, which is always good. Give you some of your very busy time left back. So first thing is we are coming into middle of November, and I realize that January is around the corner. So please, if you are wanting to have sessions, whether virtual or face-to-face in January, please get those requests into your PD specialist as soon as possible. As some of you know, the trainers get booked very quickly. And we also have to make sure we have time to get materials prepared ahead of time. So as soon as possible would be awesome to get your requests in for January. All right. Also, this is just have a couple of reminder slides. We are doing more face-to-face finally, and we've got probably an equal amount of virtual versus face-to-face. And some things have been coming up about attendance guidelines and registration. So I just wanted to go back over some of this. Also, we have a lot of new PD coordinators, and this may be something that's kind of new to you. So I just wanted to go over some of our attendance and registration guidelines. First of all, when you are doing your session planning, on the program request form, there's a place for the number of participants. Please be realistic with this number. It's what we use to set the attendance cap. It's how many people we tell the trainer is going to be there and how we create the materials. So if you say that you want 20 people and 30 show up, that there's not going to be enough materials. The trainer's not prepared for that many people. So please be very realistic with that number. And if we need to adjust it, please work with your PD specialist, because again, the trainer needs to be included. Some sessions are a lot of group work and a lot of activities. And if it's too big, it just becomes unwieldy for a trainer. So please definitely, talk with your PD specialist about the number of participants. Then once the session is in the PD portal, so you've worked with your PD specialist, we've got your request in, and your session is in the PD portal on the calendar. Once that session is in there, you are responsible for making sure people are registered, whether you do it yourself as the PD coordinator, approver, manager, or if you tell your people about the session and they register themselves. So that's part of your responsibility, is to make sure that people are getting registered. When they are registered, they should receive a confirmation email. So if you registered them, they should still get a registration email. So if they don't get that email, please let us know, let the PD portal people know, let your PD specialists know, so that we can make sure that emails are being kicked off correctly. And Jessica, if I say anything incorrectly or you want to jump in here with a little bit more info, that would be great. Now, attendance caveats. At 5 days before a face-to-face session or 3 days before a virtual session, our training coordinator will look at the registration. If there are less than 5 people registered for a face-to-face, or less than 5 for the 3 days before a virtual, the PD specialist is going to contact the program to confirm registrations and discuss opening the session to other programs in the state. We do this because, again, we are all grant funded, and yes, it's great to have a small one-on-one training, but, to be the best steward of our dollars, it's best if we can have as many people as was requested in there. So, for a face-to-face session, anything under 5 is going to kind of be, it's not as beneficial for everybody. So we will discuss with you opening the session to other programs in the state so that we can build up that registration. If that registration still hasn't been met 3 days before a face-to-face or 1 day before a virtual session, we could cancel the session. And we don't like doing that. We never like doing that, but we just want to make sure that we have the best training sessions possible. Does anybody have any questions? I know that sounds really harsh, but there's some reasons for this.
There aren't any questions. No, I did post in there that if anybody would like to refer to these, Krista, that you've posted them in the community of practice for PD coordinators. I put that little cookie crumb trail there in the chat.
Awesome, thank you. Yes. And again, you can always talk to your PD specialist about any of this information and if you need any further information. But like I said, we just want to make sure that we're using our money as wisely as possible. And nobody likes to do things at the very last minute. So, all right. So I'm not seeing any questions either. So I'm going to move on. So part of the training, especially for face-to-face, is sign-in sheets. And TCAL will generate the sign-in sheets before the training. And the trainer is supposed to print the sign-in sheets, but sometimes they don't have a printer or something happens. So we do kind of ask for the PD coordinator to kind of talk with the trainer. Hey, do you have the sign-in sheets or not? Just so that somebody has a copy of the TCAL sign-in sheets. Now, these sign-in sheets are the ones that we need to have to create the attendance for the session. And the trainer will take the sheets at the end of the training session, but you are also welcome to make a copy if you need them. And sometimes programs will have their own sign-in sheets, and then we have the TCAL sign-in sheets. But even if you have your own, we still need to have the TCAL sign-in sheets. All right. So any questions or comments about that?
Nothing yet.
All righty. So, if there's no questions about all of that really fun stuff, our next PD coordinator webinar will be December 14th. So mark your calendars. And then I've also added the rest of the year through May for the PD coordinator webinars. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Krista. We appreciate a lot of good, detailed information, clarifications received. Good. Thank you very much. So, and we're coming to the end of our webinar. Before we wrap it up, we will have Rena going over just a reminder. Rena, if you're
Yes.
ready.
Just a reminder for you guys not to forget, the call center is here for you. And if you saw like an EdTech tool that you see today or in any of the upcoming webinars or courses that you see on the PD portal, please don't be afraid to contact us and we can help you explore it more. If you'd like to request a roadshow specifically for your programs, you can go ahead and request that through your PD coordinator. If you're looking for some free promo materials like posters, magnets, or stickers, you can order that for free on our website, and I will drop that link in the chat. And then, of course, if your students or your teachers need any technical assistance, we're here for you 7 days a week from 7 to 10 p.m. Our numbers on the screen, as well as our website in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Rena. We appreciate you. And last minute burning questions. We kind of came to the end a little bit earlier, so good. Like Krista said, give you back your very valuable time. So anything before we close the room?
I don't see any questions. Anybody have any burning questions before we call it a day? Give you back about 20 minutes. I wish they had it where you could see if they were typing.
Right?
The only thing I don't like about Zoom. Thank you, Linda. All righty. Well, with that, oh, what's the DEPDC phone number again? Can you go back a slide?
There we go.
Yep. 833-498-2255. Thank you, Rena. All righty. Well, as Paula says, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I'm sure we all have something to be thankful for this year. Olga Demina, thank you for presenting. Did a fabulous
Thank you very
job.
much.
And y'all have a great day, a great weekend, a great holiday, and we'll talk to you in December. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving. Have a great week.
Great job, Olga.
Yeah, nice job.
Yes, great job, both Olga and Deb.
Just wait for the other folks. A couple folks left. Okay, well, that's it for us, folks. We're gonna hang up.
All right.
Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.